let's quickly go over the Weslo 5.9G treadmill control panel. This is mostly what you're going to be looking at the entire time when you're using this treadmill. So you have two horizontal handlebars here. That's pretty simple. You have a really big tray on the left and on the right to store like a water bottle or whatever, and then you kind of have this this tablet slant here. So I usually put my laptop or my cell phone here, and you can easily watch it rather than having to buy a treadmill with a really fancy, TV in it, which is not necessary. Then you have quick select for your speeds, 1 through 10 miles per hour. I'm going to show you later that these aren't accurate at all. The treadmill is a fair amount faster, almost half a mile per hour faster than the stated speed that you can select here. There's also a Bluetooth setting for some app that you use on your phone that tracks the workouts you do or something like that. I never use it, so I can't comment on that too well. You have your e-stop, so this is magnetic, just like the ones in the gym. So if you look here, focus, you just tie that to yourself if you really need it, and then if it disconnects from the treadmill, see, it'll deactivate it like this. I'll show you again real quick, and then the treadmill turns off. The treadmill shows time, it shows speed, and it shows distance. It'll alternate the time, the speed, and distance in the main display. You can't control which one it shows at what period of time, so that's kind of annoying if you're just trying to look at one thing. Like either I'm always looking at speed or I'm always looking at time. So for me, that's kind of annoying, but it'll shuffle those infographics into these smaller segments of the display. And that's basically it for the control panel. And this is all kind of a cheaper plastic. This is a budget treadmill, so don't expect anything better than that. And this is simply screwed on to these handlebars on the sides through a couple self-tapping screws on each end. So since this is a home treadmill, one of the selling points is that it's a space saver kind of design. It is a space saver on the treadmill itself. So what that means is that it can fold up. To fold up, all you do is you pick it up from one end, and then it goes up, and there's this locking pin that you install with a self-tapping screw, and the locking pin just holds the treadmill up in place. And then you can tilt it like this, and there's wheels, so you can wheel it around somewhere to store it if you're not using it at the moment. Now, since this is a very budget-friendly treadmill, there's no electronic incline control. So there's no incline settings on the control panel that I showed you. But they do include a little bit of incline that's manually adjustable by hand. So there's flat, which is how my treadmill is set up right now, and then there's a bit of an incline. I want to say maybe 5 to 10%, and you do that by picking up the back of the treadmill. And then you flip the feet in like this, and then you set it back down, and now the treadmill is on this very slight incline. And then put it back, you just put the feet back. But if you're someone that does slow walking uphill, like you're training for hiking or something like that, this is probably not very adequate for you. The amount of incline it provides is very little, and there's very little control over it. So just keep that in mind if that's something that's important to your goals. So I'm going to test how accurate the speed of the treadmill settings are. So basically I've marked one part of the belt here with some painter's tape, and I measured the length of the belt on one side to be approximately 55 inches. So the entire belt is about 110 inches long. Then I'm going to turn the treadmill on and set it at 3 miles per hour, and then count how many revolutions I see using the blue tape for about 30 seconds, and then calculate how fast that really is using the length and the amount of revolutions I saw. So let's get to that. Okay, I let the treadmill warm up a little bit, and then once the blue tape hits the end, I'm going to hit the timer and then let this go for 30 seconds and count the amount of revolutions I see. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So let's calculate that result real quick. So we got 17 revolutions. Each revolution is 110 inches. So 17 times 110 in inches is 1,870 inches divided by 12 for feet. This is for feet. And then per second, since I did this for 30 seconds, divide by 30. And then per minute, feet per minute. And then feet per hour. And then change feet into miles. So there's 5,280 feet in a mile. So I got 3.5 miles per hour. You know, my measurement of the belt isn't completely accurate, but 0.54 away from the 3 mile per hour setting is pretty off. And I've noticed that this feels much faster than a professional, you know, industry grade treadmill that I use at the gym. So for me, this result just confirms what I already kind of felt using the treadmill. So don't count on the treadmill's speed setting to be super accurate. And I'm sure it varies between buying one and another too. So if you measured a bunch of them, some of them are probably more accurate and some of them are probably less. So one of the realities of a budget treadmill is that they're going to be pretty narrow. So this treadmill is only about, you know, approximately 17 inches wide. So if you're a particularly like taller person, I definitely wouldn't get this if you're going to be running at all. I'm only 5'9", and I don't feel super comfortable running on it. My feet will usually scrape the edges sometimes when I'm, you know, just running without thinking about it. So I constantly kind of have to look down if I'm going to be running. Usually I just walk on this treadmill. But you have to spend a lot more to get a much wider treadmill than this. I'm going to give you a quick demo on me walking on the treadmill, then running a little bit on the treadmill, just so you see how much it flexes, how much it changes, and how stable it seems. I'm 185 pounds, I'm 5'9", just to give you an idea. This treadmill does have a pretty low weight limit of 275 pounds, so keep that in mind. You're not supposed to use more than that. So I'm going to set it at 3 and then do a brisk walk. As I'm walking, what I do notice sometimes is that just from my sheer weight of stepping on the belt, that it introduces some resistance into the rolling. So it probably slows down the treadmill just a little bit. As you can see, the treadmill's more or less pretty stable. It feels pretty comfortable to walk on. I don't feel like it's bouncing back against my feet that hard, so there is a bit of cushioning. Alright. Now I'm going to go into running at like 5 miles per hour. I'm not a good runner, sorry, so I'm not going to do much faster than that. So here's 5. I'm consciously pushing my knees kind of close together so I don't scrape the sides of the treadmill. Because if I kind of just put my legs out naturally, I know sometimes I'm going to trip up on those plastic sides next to the belt. Alright, so I think you get an idea of how the treadmill behaves under load. So what are my final thoughts on the Weslo 5.9G Cadence Treadmill for your home? Well, I think it's suitable for someone who just wants to do some light walking, maybe some light jogging, but it's not suitable for someone that's going to be, you know, more intensely running, someone that primarily runs. The support and how fragile it is and how inaccurate the running settings are, how wide and long the belts are just too much of a compromise for that. But if you're just trying to get some light exercise in, sometimes you want to use it when you don't want to go to the gym, or you just want to walk while you watch TV, I think it's perfect for that. And the price point really hits home for that kind of usage. But outside of that, you want to probably invest more. And when you kind of go with treadmills, what you find out is that you either spend very little and get something like this, or you have to spend, you know, a couple thousand to get something worthwhile.